3D printers, and luckily, we are looking at
And
going.
At the end of that,
you got a neural, how do you put braingasm in one of the episodes. You guys should check it out. I've forgotten a
yeah, you had
particular
a brain
episode.
gasm, exactly.
All right, guys, welcome back to another season of your most regular show. Yeah, more regular. We have been more regular
Sorry,
than the 7 p.m. news. Yeah, more regular
bars,
than BBC and
bars,
CNN.
bars.
Yes. 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 We are very regular, and welcome back to a new season. With the usual, the three of us, and myself, Dati Obey, Salas Bempo, and Maxwell Dankwa. And it's a new year. Thankfully, it's a new year, so new things. Eja, new year, new me. So we are doing it in spite of the coronavirus and all that. Um, as usual, keeping in the spirit of 2020, we are still recording virtually because of
So,
the
guys,
virus.
can you believe I'm making this conference call with Airtel TV? Think about it. Like the impossible can't happen.
Because
Anyway,
But the
sorry.
network seems stable though.
my guy, it's just
Yeah,
Vodafone
Airtel TV.
because okay, I say Maxwell's
Airtel
network
TV.
seems stable.
Yeah,
Guys,
because
see,
Yeah,
you hope there was a 1 day issue. Why is it really not a 1 day issue?
I doubt it
Since
is
it's
because okay,
it's
I've been in the office since morning, and when I came back, when I opened my machine, this is the first thing I did, and then the network isn't the best, and I'm also downloading a 1 gig file, and that one too, I'm still at about ten
and you're
percent.
complaining.
I'm still at about
Okay.
10%.
wait, you're downloading the house like underscore.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Ah,
I mean, this is not
you're
this is not this
already
is not
complete.
not Starlink for Christ's sake.
Yeah,
At
just
the
you're in
at the bando no yemi meto.
just pause the thing so that like I have like a seamless connection for Zoom.
Well, that's
Just pause.
true. Let me
Tell
just
us, left
pause it.
from we already pay road toll, but there are still potholes. So
I
being
was
a band,
literally watching a video on Twitter of some pothole be that it's actually a gully, like a huge
no
gully.
surprises there.
I mean,
Anyway,
they're not into like normal. I don't know.
no, actually, I doubt the video is Ghanaian because the cars didn't look Ghanaian.
Because you mentioned Porto, and it's like it's pretty standard like road structure.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless
Okay,
unless
you see, Obi is sidetracking now. He's talking about potholes. Let's start.
Nobody started.
yeah, we actually start. I mean, I felt like it was
Okay, so this goes into the intro.
Yeah, I mean,
Is that what you guys are saying?
yes.
Okay. I knew we said we would wing it, but not the whole thing.
Why? No, I did not expect something different than that. You know
the
that.
one.
Okay, very
The
well.
man say we are regular like it's 7 p.m. news. You know, see the bus. You
Oh, that's a
winking.
lie.
Hey, I mean it's optional. Whether you can decide to think whatever you want to think. You're also the biggest podcast in Ghana, so I mean it's all about positive
Okay.
affirmation.
Now that's sounding
coming
cookie
back,
already. The
coming
biggest
back.
podcast in Ghana.
Oh, I
Yeah.
mean, I think I put it.
Oh, by now that we've dropped. By now we've dropped.
So, tough.
Anyway, well, yeah, maybe
But yeah,
when we remain
how was that season?
when we remain consistent, we can go higher. I don't know why my internet. I think I should disconnect all the devices connected to this router because it's I'm having issues trying to connect. Anyway, so guys, welcome back to the self-taught novels. As I mentioned earlier, the faces have not changed or the voices have not changed. The only exception is
Nope, we haven't.
yes, we are just we are all almost a year wiser. That's
Hey,
that's the only difference because technically we all celebrate our birthdays this year, so we are all
yeah.
a year wiser. Yeah, so
There's nothing technical about that. We will all celebrate unless any of you have other plans.
yeah, actually do.
Me, when you say other plans, what do you mean by other plans? When you say other plans,
Well,
I'm actually going to
I'm
die.
really starting to wonder. I'm really starting to wonder.
We other
Anyway,
plans to get.
Anyway, so Ellie couldn't join us for this episode, but it's with us in spirit. I think just take your devices and play a background music and consider that as Ellie's voice. Anyway, so so what has been up with you guys? I mean, it's been a trying year so far, and
Wait, 2021 has already been a trying
I
year.
mean, January not the one end.
No blue.
Charlie, January left 11 days. They bleed this.
But wait, for me, this has been like literally like the fastest January like I've experienced in
The
my
fastest January.
yeah.
Yes, yesterday.
Like
I was in the
it's not
office.
January like the rest, the way the rest used to.
Interesting.
At least for me.
But yesterday.
that's true. I mean, it's not long. Usually, we are accustomed to having Januaries be like so long, where people spend their salary, and there's this like this whole dry period. There's so many memes about it. But this time around, everyone's just busy trying to stay alive.
Bro, because like
Sorry.
I was like, we just entered New Year. Then today is like what? Like we're already like in the third week of January. Like
Mhm.
that's right.
Well, that's the kind of system we live in, unfortunately. But
And
then
looking
I think,
looking at the way cases are going high in Ghana, the year literally cast again that
yeah, yeah.
Charlie, Charlie, Charlie.
I mean, well, I mean, the blame, the people now who are trying to, I don't want to mention names or this,
I
but the
mean
people
Well,
now,
we all
I'll do that job for you. I'll do that job for you. The politicians use December to do campaign, and even the
exactly.
months running up to December, and they disobeyed protocol, and now COVID is rife, and they are saying that it is a public carelessness. Let's be honest. I mean,
I mean,
it's not.
it's 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 quite unfortunate the fact that they are now trying to shift blame to literally everything else besides what actually started this whole spread again or this whole um for lack of a better word lapse because
yeah.
it was them. They decided to downplay it for the election. Then they
Well,
stopped.
well, well. What point in it? The at least Kyo and Chroma's argument for that was uh, the government currently doesn't have any data to back
Because they
that
didn't
claim
take data. They didn't take
it
data.
was
If you don't
that
have data,
government.
of course. Well,
And I mean, there could be some truth in it because the spike, if give or take, we all know that like uh, the period for like COVID or for anyone to actually like show symptoms or signs of COVID is usually 2 weeks. So imagine that within 2 weeks,
no,
this spike
Salas,
happened.
it's a ripple effect. They are
Oh, I
the
mean, yeah.
because they started downplaying it. Then the citizens so what? Then they opened the borders. Then the UK bloggers they came. This guy,
with
um,
with the new strain.
exactly. There's this guy. There's this guy who I follow on Snapchat. The guy literally partied every night with people from the UK,
Ah,
people from Canada.
why do I feel like I know that person at the moment?
Unfortunately, let's not mention the person. But then, but then you see, it's and for me, it started from there. But anyway, we promised ourselves during and the discussions for this season that we were really going to take our minds off and the whole COVID-19 and try and spread positive energy and try and spread faith and hope for tomorrow. And
Look
for
forward.
us, tomorrow, a
Cases
better
are
and
going
better.
up. Yes,
There's
they are
hope,
preaching hope. You should
my
tell people
guy.
to mask up.
Yeah, I mean, mask up. I mean, it's really important to mask up, but then we should be very
Silas,
what's
you're
it?
trying to be the voice of pessimism on this podcast. Stop it.
For me,
You guys, he's locked in the bungalow. Yes, he has barricaded all the doors and windows. And our team.
we have literally got out like 3 times. I can count the other times. I've been-
Silas,
So we
this is
like
the
I
kind
literally.
of this is the kind of thing he was waiting for. Anti-social, anti-human,
Oh
anti-everything.
yeah. Oh no. I mean, am I happy that cases are going up? No, I'm not happy because it increases like the probability that like anyone I know or probably anyone who I come into contact with
Yeah, might
in
have
like
been
the next 2
affected.
weeks or something might be affected. But
True.
then, do I like the fact that we're still like social distancing and then like quarantine and all that? Yes, I'm very happy about that. I mean, I feel like it goes hand in hand, but I prefer the social distancing than the cases going on. I'm not like I wouldn't say like I hate people that much the way like Maxwell wants to preach it, but very
But you
happy
do.
person. But I mean, we're in a pandemic for Christ's sake, Charlie. Keep your
Anyway,
distance.
so you guys, how's your 2020? I think Maxwell also will be most dramatic. So let's listen to him first.
Really? Oh, 2020. Let's sum 2020. Let's do like a 2020 rewind, shall we? 2020 that was up. Okay, we finished national service. We finished national service. Some of us we finished earlier than others because after lockdown, nothing was really serious with respect to work, at least for me. And we work remotely. Some of us didn't work at all. Then there was, yeah. Then I went through a phase where I had to take my fitness seriously. Hence these gains. Try to get all into
I'm coming
Shameless
on.
plug.
Straight
Shameless plug.
again, so that
yeah.
I can give
Hence these gains.
an audio representation. So
Yeah.
he has average
It's a
guns.
well sculpted.
He has average
What?
guns. They are not big.
Yeah.
At
They are not big.
even
Very
regular
big.
safe. Normal.
Yeah, coming from people who have something what's close. I don't think so. So
Yes, actually, you have something
um,
close. Yeah, I said that it's in different sizes, but the shape is the same.
right. Okay, so around getting to the last quarter of the year, the last 4 months or last 3 months, yeah, that's when I started taking exercise serious. And I think you guys were pretty much, hooked onto the gym. I did not give you, the time of day.
Yeah,
I always told you about it that I was gymming. I was trying to encourage Obin. Obin went for a trot 1 or 2 times and he realized that this is not for him.
my guy. I'd
Is
rather
that.
okay.
And Silas told us about his single endeavor where he tried to go for a jog and he was out of breath and he just was like, screw it, I'm done with
I
this.
work out. I have like a mini gym at home, so there's no need to go.
Oh, okay. So you're
Yeah,
going for powerlifting instead of running. That's fine.
I have a mini gym in my head.
That's a lie, Obin. Stop.
In my
You
head,
don't have a mini gym anywhere.
I have a
Anyway,
mini gym in my
so
head.
yeah.
So I use it.
So, but if you take a good look at how 2020 went, you realize that it's not the typical year, at least not for me and not for most people, because even with the fitness, if the normal hustle and bustle of day-to-day life was going on, I wouldn't have considered it. But when it comes to when you're idle at home and all that, you start to consider so many things with so much time on your hands and all that. So yeah, the year was turned on its head. We tried to make the most out of it. Oh yeah, I forgot. And there was this podcast as well. I think I should have mentioned that before. Yeah, there was this podcast. There was this podcast as well. I think last year.
Classic Maxwell.
Yeah, I think last year was the year that we did a well-rounded season. I'll be might
Yeah.
disagree, but
The
from start to
closest
finish, it was
it
good
was
stuff.
it was the closest we got to all around this season.
Yeah, it was good stuff. It started well. Had a lot of guests. I want no spoilers here. If you have the chance, go back and listen to them. Very thought-provoking conversations. Some of them are a bit hard to make it through, but if if you take your time, you will make it through.
If
But
we know
it's easy.
if we made it through the recording, you would also make it through the listening. And I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And actually, we interviewed people outside Ghana, so
Yeah.
that I mean, props to us for that one. So yeah. So it was a good year. 2020. Hopefully, 2021 should be better.
Bosom.
Yeah. 2020. Yeah. 2020 is when like I embraced my also should I say how do I put this?
Alter ego. And made it your
It's not
main
even an alter ego. I mean,
made it your
it
main
has always
ego.
been it has always been there. Okay, yeah, probably alter ego. But like being indoors,
No, I think
quarantine.
you should also give the listeners an audio representation of what we are talking about.
Ah,
So I
Let me do it.
think
Let me do it. Let me do
okay.
it. Let me do it.
no,
Okay.
no.
Okay. So
Simple
for those of you,
description. I
for those
grew
of you,
an afro.
oh,
I
okay.
allowed it. I stopped combing my hair. It turned to freeform locks, and now I've now gone full dreads. That is it. That is it. There's nothing.
When the last time you spoke to your
Maximum.
church pastor?
I could have done better than
Oh,
that, Silas.
that was what was it? Like this weekend or something. But he usually texts me on WhatsApp. So.
What do you say? I'll be texting you. Yeah. I be scared.
So you see, I mean, for those who don't know, like before pre-lockdown, actually, like I wasn't. My parents moved to a different place, which is where we are, somewhere in Goma Fete. So I hadn't moved in then. I was still somewhere around because, like back then, we were Kaswa. So
Mhm.
I mean, given the distance, I had to
And
like
I don't think it's safe to be mentioning locations, so I beg.
Speaking of that, there was one time I got in a bus heading to 37, and I saw Silas in the front seat. I did not talk to him because I'm going to be honest, I didn't know his name at that time. The guy was so.
Wait,
I'm
you
not
saw
lying.
me?
I saw you in a Trotsky to 37, and you got down, I think at 37, and I was at the back. I was like, this guy, this
What
face,
year
this
was
face,
this?
I know this face. This was like the first 2 months international service. The first 2 months, no, the first month international service. I was like, I know this guy, but yeah. Anyway, we don't want to be like, I know you, I don't know you, I know your name. What's your name? You understand? I'm awkward. So anyway, it was buried in his phone.
You say
Hey,
or killer or director.
my guy,
Sorry.
this year, if I didn't
I
move
said
around
you'd
town,
have,
no
you'd have
trouble.
just said chairman or killer or director or boss. How far?
I should have. But anyway, there's that.
Wow, that's weird. I didn't I didn't know that. Wait, and how come like all this time, like a whole year passed, you mentioned it? You are now mentioning it.
Doesn't exactly count as something eventful, does it?
Ouch.
Wow. Anyways,
Anyway.
for me, 2020 was more about, I think, a lot of introspection and a lot of reading and self-isolation, which I've always been doing, but at least at this time was a much more, should I say, it was a prerequisite for everyone to like actually do so. And
Bars, my nigga, bars.
I really appreciate it. Even though Maxwell thinks otherwise. I don't care what
Yes, I do.
yeah,
I do think
don't,
I think
don't.
otherwise.
But yeah, but God being so good, like Maxwell said, computer service, continuing with work, still staying indoors. Yeah. So my year was literally like I spent 95% of 2020 indoors. Like yeah, that was most of the
Silas.
human interactions I had were I attended 2 weddings in a year, 2 or 3 weddings. Yeah.
Silas, are you a germaphobe?
And no, I'm not a germaphobe. And I only
Okay.
went out when my laptop broke down twice. So on those two occasions, I had to go and get it fixed. Yeah. And then some one or two things that like errands and all that I had to. But pretty much my 2020 was literally spent indoors. So most of my human interactions came with talking to these other two voices on the podcast, and then other Zoom calls and then video calls. So
No sweet one. No sweet one at all. No sweet one.
let's see one. Let's see one.
He has sweet ones.
This is a cry for help.
But also read a lot of books though. A lot of books. Shout out to Abe for let me
Essentialism.
Thank you.
Essentialism.
Thank you. Max,
I really
speaking of essentialism, have you read it?
I don't know.
It's been like what 6 months. I
I'm
I'll go read. I believe I even practiced it already.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
think so?
it shows he practices. He practices it.
No.
Yeah.
It was essential. I would have been here. And
Oh, I was going to be sarcastic. It was obviously
my bad.
It was obviously he practices. It was it's obvious he practices what he read. I mean, it's all good.
Yeah.
Well, so
And also I joined a podcast. I mean, season 2 was already rolling in like most parts of the year, like halfway through the year. I came in the later half, and we've had like amazing conversations from the guitar and data sovereignty to IS versus Android debate to realizing that Maxwell is an MKBHD hater to yeah, I mean amongst many others. But so far 2020 was a pretty chill year. We just hope that like the pandemic goes away in this new year. Even though it doesn't look like it.
well,
But I just hope that like things get better.
yeah, I hope so. I mean,
Yeah.
if things don't get better, we are doomed as a generation or a human.
Unless we get a vaccine though.
Vaccine, I was speaking to earlier. He says that even I think Arizona is currently one of the hardest hit epicenters in the world, and that one is currently only the essential workers and the old people who are getting the vaccines.
I saw some vaccination modeling thing around like how soon everyone get.
It's funny how our conversations are leading towards COVID. When we claim we are not going to talk about COVID, so please let's just end it there. Otherwise, we'll end up going back into the COVID sand. Anyway, so my 2020 it started out some way, and who has seen the multimedia journalist who has invented a device?
Finish with your 2020.
It's part. No, I'm coming. Oh, relax.
Okay.
So, who has seen that the multimedia journalist, Kwesi Debra, who invented a paper prompter device? Has any of you seen it?
Wow.
No, but thanks to you and you constantly talking about something like that, but keeping the details. I think I had an idea that he was working on something like that, but no official article have I read.
Oh, it has been made public now, and it was part of the things we were working on during the pandemic. When I came back to Kumasi, and then it was really tough because we had a lot of hurdles. Like the hurdles were coming one after the other from our printers going down, me having to work somewhere, me literally staying at certain places at certain times, calling the guy modeling to last minute to make changes, stressing him out and all that. But finally, we're able to bring
What is it that he made again? I'm sorry, I didn't.
Basically, it's a paper prompter device. So when people are interviewing, when journalists are interviewing, there's a subject. The subject needs to look into the camera, and also to the interviewer has to give notes, and sometimes the subject even forgets their lines. But this is a camera attachment that dangles a paper from
like a teleprompter, but a paper one.
not necessarily a teleprompter, but then yes. So basically, it's a teleprompter. Yes, yes, a mobile teleprompter. Yeah,
Okay.
a mobile.
But it's mechanical, right? It's not electric. It's not electronic.
No, no, is it mechanical? It's more of
Does it run
Is
on?
that like a
it's a
bell?
passive attachment. So in the sense that it
Oh, okay.
doesn't use electricity, but then I wouldn't really call it mechanical. Because mechanical can mean that there's some amount of power running through it. So you may have some active components, but this one is passive, so there's no electricity or nothing running through it.
Okay.
At
Sure.
least for this iteration, but for the future iteration, we are looking at adding some other things I can't really talk about here. So yeah, so that was one thing. And I think as most of you are aware, I work mostly with students. So the entire year was
You do? I did not know that.
yeah, so we
Go ahead. Go
we
ahead.
had to do a lot of things remotely, but then luckily during the end of the year, we started seeing some good results, and the management of the college is really happy, and we are even currently we are about starting fundraising for the center, and also to we've gotten some leads, and a lot of students are coming on board. So currently, I think when I started, we were 2 people, but now we have a core team of 4, and we have 8 interns. So that means you are looking at 12 people who run the center now, from just a team of 2. So gradually we are expanding. Yes, we are
Yeah.
expanding small,
I
small.
mean, not to cut you off, but just to chip this in, talking about COVID and all, tell us the center with COVID, how many of your programs were cancelled?
Everything, literally everything. So
How many?
all our training programs were cancelled, and we're looking at doing about 8 to 10 programs, the training programs the entire year. There are also some other activities we're looking at partnering on, and even organizing ourselves. So that quite a number. But then luckily we run 3 models. So we have capacity building, we have the incubator, and we have the maker space. Luckily, the maker space, which is where the office was opened, but not open to all students. Just a few. There's the students who were residents in Kumasi, and were also part of a project before COVID hit. So we made that available, and also to when it came to consulting with on student projects and stuff, we made that available. And also to last year, we got the 5 3D printers, and luckily we are looking at going.
At the end of that.
You got neural, how do you put braingasm in one of the episodes. You guys should check it out. I've forgotten a
Yeah, you had
particular
a brain
episode.
gasm, exactly.
I had a
Yeah,
braingasm on that.
And
yeah.
they say it was more than that, but sure.
I was actually more than that. I mean,
Well,
you're not wrong.
if that's what makes you guys sleep at night, fine.
Yes, that's interesting.
Anyway, so we also had, I mean, quite a number of things happened, even though financially 2020 was my worst, but then I mean I'm still able to eat healthy.
Hallelujah.
Yes, I'm still able to eat healthy, and also to certain things. I also have another good news that came from 2020, but then it hasn't. I don't want to jinx it because it hasn't really fully played out. So when it fully plays out, I'll definitely talk about it here. But for me, just
Personal or data media related.
no, personal, personal.
Oh,
But
I can't wait to be excited for you.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh my
Anyway,
god, he did not sense the sarcasm. Okay, sure.
yeah, so I mean in general, I'm really grateful to God and even to faith, and 2020 really taught me a lot, and also to yeah, I'm poet, and
sorry.
also to I had a lot of time to really think through certain decisions, and I mean it has also been the reason for me posting again on the blog. So gradually, as the year progresses, I'm trying as much as possible to revive content creation on data media. And so far, I'm in my second week, and we've already gotten a lot of positive feedback from people. I mean, I mean, over the weekend, I even did, and I don't know if you guys saw it. Maxwell says it's no longer on WhatsApp, but maybe Salah saw it. I did this weekend tech broadcast where I listed 6 of the top stories on the website for people to look at, and I mean, it gave me some amount of traction because people really liked some of the things I reported on. So as time goes on, I'm looking at doing more within the tech and startup ecosystem in the country and innovation
Move
ecosystem
to
in the country.
Signal. Move to Signal.
My guy,
Wait, Max. I already moved to Signal. What's up? I come to watch status.
yes, Obia in your,
People
so
are there.
it's not.
Are you
It's,
sure? I'm
I
there.
am there at least.
Obin, why are you saying there'll be any? Why aren't we some people?
why are you there?
No,
I
I'm
have
there.
I have like a group on Signal.
Wow, this guy was a nerd before we all knew what the meaning of the word was.
Oh, please. Why do you want to
Because I remember when I downloaded Signal at first, no one was there. That was about
Yeah.
2 years ago. Then
You know when I first heard of Signal? When Hong Kong protesters started using it because it evaded censorship from Beijing or whatever. That's when the first big fuss about Signal came. Then I realized that
it
you
was the
already
same
knew
for
about
me.
Signal. Okay, I think at that time Obin was using it already. I don't know.
yeah, I think that
But
was,
I spoke
that's
about
around the time I was using it. But then I realized that WhatsApp aired there. I just deleted it because only one people are on it. So now that I've left, now that everybody's rushing to go there.
but the Signal experience is actually quite I dare say rewarding. No, not rewarding. Like it's a smooth UI and all. I mean, who gets that feedback as well? I'm just
But
like
I just feel like
late adopter who's overexcited.
it's always like iMessage to be honest.
Yeah. That kind of seamless flow feel. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right. So
But much more privacy conscious.
Yeah,
Go on.
definitely. So that has been, in summary, that has been our 2020, and we are looking forward to a very fruitful year and no surprises. I mean, like who has watched Death to 2020 on Netflix?
Yeah,
I've
Maxwell,
been
have
seeing
you?
snippets on YouTube. I haven't had time to see it.
You should. It's it really sums up
It's
how
like a
much.
parody version. It's like a
Yes,
parody version of yeah.
yeah. So it's more like a mockumentary of what all the events in 2020, at least from an American's perspective. Yes.
I'm sure Trump features, right?
Oh,
lots of stuff.
prominently.
No surprise there.
Prominently. Anyway, so what should people expect from this year from us? Quite a lot, but the same old format. We are going to do our best to share. We are going to do our best to share, my bro. Yeah. So, yeah. So a lot has been said about our 2020, but what should we expect? What should you expect from us this year? I mean, quite a lot, but then there's the energy and the commitment is going to be the same. We'll try as much as possible to get more people to really discuss topical issues that affect people who are interested in topics around technology, capacity building, innovation, entrepreneurship, digital media, and anything really around that space. And then we're also looking at having conversations ourselves and just randomly discussing certain topics as and when they come. So yeah, I think that's really what you should expect from this year.
I hope this year you don't discuss J Lopez and whatever. Because there was an episode where you guys started discussing your favorite female musicians.
But what's wrong with that?
I didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
These are the topics you mentioned. Where does J Lo or what's his name guy? Your favorite guy, Logan Paul. Okay, Logan Paul fits
Hey,
the bit.
he's fighting Mayweather next month.
I pray for his soul. Really.
No, but it's crazy how he has risen, and how
It's
I mean,
just
like,
a money grabbing fight. It's nothing else.
I mean, because of the fact this guy, Jake Harvey, Nate Robinson, he feels like, okay, need to make a good try Mayweather. Mayweather is a different guy. Nate
People are
Robinson
saying
was
that
a basketball player.
beat Mayweather. Don't know where that nonsense is coming from, but
well, looking at
is it
their
like an
ages,
MMA style fight or is
regular
technical boxing?
technical
Yeah,
boxing.
regular. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
But looking at Mayweather's age and looking at Logan Paul's height and all that, he may have an advantage. But then looking at Mayweather's experience, that's when the question marks start. Because Mayweather is known for beating people almost close to twice his
Yeah.
size.
Mhm.
Almost people almost twice his size. So I mean, that one also raises questions about whether or not the Paul brother might win the fight. But then we all live to see. Me, I wouldn't pay
Or
for the.
whether he might leave the fight in one piece.
Oh, that one there
Until
he will because
he
the
will or
referee,
something.
the referee may have to end it after a knockout or something.
Mm.
Yeah, but then he may not. He will definitely not leave the fight the same old man, be it positive or negative. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's it for talking about this episode and what our listeners are to expect. Are there any other additions we want to add before?
What time are we posting? What time are they to expect weekly episodes to be posted?
So last I think Master, you should speak on that.
I genuinely don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Maxwell, this one is remaining in the podcast. You see, we discussed this during the kickoff
Charlie,
meeting.
relax. They're on the bed. See that time when
I
them
thought
mama
you said that the guy did it.
see the
I
mama
thought
sleep. So you at the bed, you just run us through.
All right, so basically, last time we're doing 3 episodes per week, right? But this time we are doing 2 episodes per week. Sorry, but this time we are reducing it to 1 episode per week because of change in schedules and also to availability of ourselves and probably the guests. So we are doing 1 episode per week, so that means 4 episodes in a month, and we are looking at releasing it on Mondays. That's for the core episodes. But we are also looking at doing the boys only because during the discussions we realized that there are some things we can't say when the guests are around, not because we are shy of them, but because of time constraints and all. Because we want the guests to fully exhaust whatever topics they come to talk about. So we are looking at having a boys only episode every 2 weeks. So that means 2 episodes of that every month. And so I mean, for us, that's not really part of our main schedule. It's more like a bonus for you to hear more of my lovely voice, especially, and probably a little bit of Max.
Marcel, go and get tested. Go and get tested.
At this point,
Coffee like that.
this not.
No, I'm trying to respond to his lovely voice. We know it's not.
Yeah, so I mean, that's what this season is going to look like. And then I mean, the format generally isn't going to change. It'll just be the same old stuff, except that we are just going to change the posting schedules and all that. And I hope this time everything will end properly, as we ended last season. Yes.
Wait, when you say end properly, does that mean like your laptop malfunctioning at the very last
Exactly.
part
That's
of the
what it
season?
means.
Is that what you mean by end properly?
Exactly.
That one they say
Think about it.
nene fiasem. Day street. Anyway, so yeah, so I hope we end this season properly and there are no hitches here and there. So yeah, so I think Maxwell, I've addressed it.
All right, sure.
Yeah, I've addressed it. So I think that's it from us. And I hope you are alive to listen to the next episode.
Oh my goodness. Sorry, we're not going to make this about COVID, but you keep
Yeah, but
on driving.
you know what? We keep going to the comments and anyway, so yeah, I just hope we are all available to record the next episode. And I think it's goodbye from the team from for now. It's goodbye from myself, Silas, Maxwell, and Ellie. Yes, so bye.